what we do, we live in an age now whereby, in recent decades, there has been an increasing amount of pollution coming into our mains, and it's just simply because of the type of equipment that we use. Everything now has a highly electrically efficient switch mode power supply. If you think about the wall-wart type power supplies that we had even 10 few more years ago, there were heavy things with a transformer inside, which were quite benign things. They were, quite very inefficient, but they didn't actually pollute anything. Now they're extremely lightweight. They got a switching power supply in them. They're made down to a cost. They're made in the Far East.
Is this the light versus the heavy power
This
supply?
is the light versus the heavy power supply,
yeah.
and the light power supplies are switching power supplies. They're very efficient, but they pollute like anything. They put so much in there. And now anything that you have, be it washing machine, any domestic appliance, even the televisions, your computers, everything has a switching power supply in it, putting more and more disturbance and filth into your mains. So what we do is to make a distribution box which cleans out all modes of interference into the mains. It rebalances the mains waveforms so that there's no voltage drift up or down. It recentralizes it, which means that the transformers in audio equipment can operate extremely efficiently, quietly, and at full power.
So, I mean, does this come out? The obvious question people is going to ask, so does this actually come out in kind of like scientific testing, and you measure this stuff?
In scientific testing, you can see that yes, on a 50 hertz main cycle, but all you should have is 50 cycles mains and nothing else. But you won't. You'll have sort of kilohertz and gigahertz and terahertz of interference sitting on there.
Yeah.
In scientific testing, you can say yes, okay, this has reduced the interference levels down by X decibels. So in terms of our better boxes, by 85 to 90 dB reduction in the noise in there. But really, the ultimate scientific instrument which you employ is the one on each side of your head. You plug it into your system and say, "Hey, that's made quite a profound difference."
Is it A/B testing?
You do A/B testing, but what people typically find is that the sound stage expands out. It becomes much more three-dimensional. There's a separation between the instruments, so you can hear separate instruments playing. So rather than a muddle of noises together, you can hear, yes, there's a violin, there's a banjo, there's whatever it might be. You can pick out each individual player playing in unison rather than a cacophonous mess.
So this is done on the actual kind of hardware. The hardware. Is there anything that's just kind of cable, or is it that's just done on the cables? They're all kind of multiple. Take one lot of mains in, get a load of cleansed.
It's always a very good idea to use a high quality cable, and we make a high quality cable at a real world price. We keep.
You say a real world price. Okay, how much are we talking for?
£70 for a 1 meter cable.
Okay.
Whereas there are some esoteric American cables at $10,000 for a cable, but then if you've got 6 pieces of equipment you've got to connect, then you're talking the price of a house.
Yeah. So looking at, this is you can imagine this sort of thing maybe sat in a studio or something, or obviously it's enthusiast stuff, isn't it?
It is, yes.
You're not going to get your average person just buying this, and that's.
But if somebody's paid about 4 or 5 or 6 or
exactly,
£10,000
it's making every element
the
best it can be.
Absolutely.
Basically. Right. And so, what would something like this set me back? What kind of amount are we talking for?
You're talking about for one of our very good units. We still try to keep the price point below £1,000 with the mains lead going in. So we keep the big unit at 995, which will enable your system, and that will serve a system up to the hundreds of thousands of pounds.
And these things are just designed to be left on.
They're left on all the time.
Sort of like
they're main servers, if you like. But it also cleans and polishes the mains before it serves it out.
Okay, lovely. That's so. Name of the company: Puritan.
Puritan.
Absolutely. Not Puritan.
Puritan or Puritan.
Okay.
As you wish.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much indeed for your visit.
Cheers.
Thank you.